Hey everybody, Sawyer189 here, and I'm here with another indie comic book review courtesy of Comic Central, which is basically a indie comic book publishing platform and whatnot. And this book here is called The Maroon. The creator Derek was nice enough to give me a reviewer copy to check out. And definitely one word to describe this book is brutal, very brutal. And I don't mean that like in a bad sense. I mean that in a cool sense, like a brutal sense. So, a maroon, which I didn't even know what that was, but apparently it is from what I can gather, it is basically African slaves that went on the run, escaping, the colonizers, and they would basically join forces with like Native Americans and live in their culture and kind of adopt their culture a little bit. So think of it like a Native American, African slave hybrid kind of thing. Interesting though, very interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. You learn something new every day. So this story is pretty. It's kind of a simple story, but it's done pretty well in my opinion, and it's got some intense action and some pretty good, some decent dialogue. It's basically the story of a maroon, a guy who's trying to run away from the law because the law basically he says anyway, he's been falsely accused of a crime of murdering a bunch of people, and now people are, bounty hunters and stuff are looking for him, and he's looking for solitude. He finds this father and son that live on a farm, and they basically kind of help him out a little bit, and basically stuff ensues. They get into trouble. There's a really cool fight scene between like this giant weird spirit demon bear thing that's got giant tusks. It's pretty cool. There's some brutal fight scenes with bounty hunters. I mean, this book does not hold back in the violence, category. It's definitely pretty gruesome, definitely pretty out there with the violence, which is a good thing, I guess. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty easy, quick read. It's not super dialogue heavy, but the dialogue that is there makes sense. It tells a decent enough story. And there is about 6 issues of this series out right now. Derek has about 6 issues out right now. I haven't read the other ones, but just letting you know that this is a series that's been built upon. So I'm sure it gets only better from here on out. The guy uses axes a lot, like hatchets. He uses a lot of hatchets in this issue, which is pretty cool. It's a weapon you don't see all that often, really used in comic books. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot else I can say about this book. It's the art is pretty it's pretty decent. It's got a kind of a digital look to it. At least to me, I think it have very much a digital kind of look to it. The colors are very vibrant. They pop out a lot, especially like the leaves and the trees. The nature aspects of the book really come to mind very quickly, like which helps create the image that this is a frontier story. This is a old timey story. The action sequences are done pretty well too. I think they're paced together pretty good. Overall, I enjoyed this book. It was a good read. Like I said, a very easy read, so you can get through it pretty quick, and it's a good break read. To me, like a good read when you're on a break or whatever, or whatnot. So if I had to give it a rating, I would probably give it I'd give it a 3 out of 5. It's pretty good, but hopefully the next few issues really build upon the foundation of this issue a lot. But it is very much it is kind of a revenge story. Not so much a revenge story. I guess a liberation story. We've seen this kind of story a lot of times before. With stuff like Django Unchained. The first thing that comes to mind, a story of a man that's, being hunted and he just wants to fight back. And he's a badass and it works. Because the character seems to have superhuman strength, which I'm not sure if they're going to explain or not, but he does seem to have superhuman strength. Also, there is sci-fi, there is supernatural elements to this story, because you see the bear here, it is not like a normal bear. So I'm interested to see like how much of the supernatural elements kind of ooze out in the story. But yes, that is my issue. That is my review for the Maroon. You go ahead and check out the Comic Central website. So you can check out lots of different indie books they have. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe as always.